Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I'm very pleased today that Muhammad Ali Jinnah University has given me the honor to visit their media center. Firstly, I must express my gratitude and congratulations to the university, the Vice Chancellor, and the respective faculty, Ali Nasir Saab, and the respective staff who have taken pains to materialize this innovative project. And I'm sure in the times to come, this media center will be a big support to the faculty as well as the students who are studying here to move forward with the modern technology and with the modern vision also. I wish the university and this media center a great success, and I hope this will move forward as a mini innovative media center, and further it will provide opportunity to students to jump from this platform to the bigger platform. Well, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor is one out of the six major corridors of Belt and Road Initiative. Belt and Road Initiative is China's new dynamic strategic project to engulf world with the economic development. It is stretching nearly to about 100 countries, and it's moving forward in spite of pandemic. Now, the China's economic activities are gearing up. It's booming, and hopefully, as the world economic centers, they predict that by 2023, China will be the number one economic power in the world. So simultaneously, these corridors would get a boost to further improve the socio-economic development in the respective countries who are part of these corridors. And I must express that Pakistan is very lucky that Pakistan is part of this success story, and China-Pakistan Economic Corridor is one of the flagship projects in this region and of the world, in fact, because strategically this is one of the projects which is covering Asia, Central Asia, including reaching the Africa and reaching the Middle East also. Pakistan ultimately, I cannot give the timeline, but I am very sure in the near future, Pakistan will be the center stage of the transfer of energy projects from Central Asia, from Arab world to the SAARC countries. We may not see this today because of the strategic security situation, but one day I'm sure about that this reality will be seen, and all of the concerned energy projects will pass through Pakistan, and that will be the supplementary to the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. I'm pleased to mention about my province, Balochistan, which is almost 47% of this country landmass. But population is very meager, it's about 1.4 million. But the size of this province is nearly to Finland. But Allah Almighty has blessed this province with almost all the natural resources, including agriculture, which is 67% of the economy, mineral resources, livestock, fisheries. We have almost 800 kilometers of coast, which has rich seafood, which has a virgin land in future for the coastal tourism. And now, as the blue economy revolutionized the world, it is very virgin land to avail that facility. Balochistan provides great opportunities for people who are interested in any segment of economics. Besides the economics, there are other opportunities like building of infrastructure, providing input for the socio-economic development. No doubt in today's modern world you need technical know-how, but the type of rural economy we have, this is not the pressing demand in the case of Balochistan province. Besides, Balochistan has edge over geography. Our border touches two international boundaries, that is Afghanistan and Iran, and from Afghanistan, Iran, we can touch the Middle East, we can touch the Central Asia also. So ultimately, the regional integration for Pakistan, the Balochistan is a very fertile land in that case. The regional economic integration would ultimately support the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor and Belt and Road Initiative of the People's Republic of China. I fully believe that in times to come, Pakistan's rural economy particularly depends on the regional trade. And I'm lucky that to mention that the province of Balochistan provide such opportunities in case of the regional trade, as we have witnessed that Gwadar port is almost ready. Infrastructure is being built to connect Gwadar to rest of the country and rest of the region also. So ultimately, this is the one component, Gwadar, but for the whole Pakistan would get the possibility of integrating the national economy into the international economy, like going to Iran, stretching to Afghanistan, onwards to Central Asia, and then these countries going to have modern roadways, modern railways, and ultimately shipping also. So we look forward for the integration of this region, strategic integration, dynamic integration, and ultimately this region is going to provide a lot of support in the transshipment of international cargo. I will not stress on Gwadar. Ultimately, Iran's Chabahar port, Port Bandar Abbas, Karachi port, Port Qasim, all these are virgin ports which will provide such possibilities for the transshipment for the region. So international trade has great possibilities. As mentioned, that recent government has taken initiative to make the common markets on the border, Pakistan-Iran border, Pakistan-Afghanistan border, and ultimately stretching the railways into these countries so that the shipment of cargo gets the boost in that way. So ultimately, one thing which is very important, that soon Pakistan is starting a railways which will go from any corner of Pakistan via Iran to Europe, via Iran to Turkey, and ultimately Pakistan via Chaman to Afghanistan, and maybe onwards to Central Asia. Pakistan has a great responsibility as far as the strategic security is concerned, and Pakistan has always tried to be very responsible state. Pakistan has tried to show its responsibility to bring stability in the region, either it's Afghanistan, either it's Central Asia, or ahead to Arab world. We know that many international community has their reservations, or maybe they have their own agendas, but still Pakistan is trying to move with its dynamic foreign policy to bring stability in this region. And I'm sure with the stability in Afghanistan, things will settle down. And as Pakistan behaves the way one requires today, the way international community looks towards Pakistan, the settlement of Kashmir ultimately will give stability to this region. And Pakistan, I do expect and I do pray and hope and dream that Pakistan takes up the regional leadership as far as the strategic affairs of this region is concerned.